Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to another episode of Tree City Live. As always, I'm your host, Tree City Wes. Hope you guys are having a good Friday night. Kind of a laid back stream. We're going to take a look at some new things happening around the Zen ecosystem. Maybe take a look at some charts. Allergies still got me all congested and coughing over here. So pardon me. But if you could, before we get started, head over to the Twitter X account at Tree City West. Give the stream a retweet and a like. Try to get some more hash heads in here. But yeah, as always, let's get started taking a look at the crypto bubbles. Seeing what's happening around the markets. What's up, Rolando? What's up, Janet? What's up, Lou? What's up, Craig Crypto? Happy Friday. Made it another week. I know, right? Market's showing some indecision right now. So if we look at the month, got a lot of green out there. Got helium up 57% on the month, Jupiter up 36%, some meme coins popping off. But then we look at the week and we got a lot of red. What is this Mew in the top 100? $700 million market cap? Cats in the dog's world. Yeah, I heard that. That's funny. So this is what we got on the week, and then today we actually got a bit of green. So everything's just kind of a nice little recovery pump, kind of getting some legs back after dumping really hard the last couple days. See some big movers in Conflux, Filecoin up 10%, Jupiter up 11%. Got eCash up 12%. So all kinds of stuff happening. And I think my prediction here is once the ETF starts, once Grayscale stops dumping and the ETF starts picking up again, I think these altcoins, especially ETH altcoins, are really going to run those ETH beta plays. But let's go check out the Bitcoin chart. It's the Bitcoin Coinbase chart. Sorry, I'm all discombobulated here. All right, so last week we drew this thinking, now how funny is that? That is interesting. It came, so this is the daily. We had this daily wick on last Thursday. I guess it was yesterday. And I drew this head and shoulders. It played that. It played the head. This wick came perfectly down to the golden pocket, and then it just bounced. So this kind of negates the head and shoulders. It's not really a head and shoulders if the shoulder's bigger than the head. Like, it doesn't really work like that. So it looks like our head and shoulders pattern is, on Bitcoin at least, isn't playing out. If we zoom into the 4 hour here, we should be able to see that a bit clearer. Yeah, you can see it. That's so funny. So I did call the pullback back to that golden pocket, but I thought it would be a bit more bearish than that. Now I wouldn't be surprised if it does kind of do one of those, but Bitcoin's feeling pretty bullish, especially with the conference going on right now. Normally the conference is kind of a bearish thing. Usually when the conference happens, there's a big Bitcoin dump and then everybody's like, what the hell, the conference, it dumps. That seemed to happen like the last 3 years, but this year it's pretty much the most historic Bitcoin conference. You got Kathy Wood coming. Robert Kennedy spoke today talking about how he would make a Bitcoin, put Bitcoin on the books basically, and start like an official government fund, and then I guess Trump's speaking at the Bitcoin conference, and there was rumors that Kamala was going to speak, but then I guess she turned it down last second. I don't think Trump has spoken yet, but so what are we looking here at 4 hours? So you see the RSI here is starting to pull over a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised to see that turnover along with the price. Yeah, nothing really. You kind of see the RSI is just, oops, it's just kind of losing strength here. So like I wouldn't be surprised if it just does one of these, then gets really oversold. And meanwhile, Bitcoin does one of these. I wouldn't mind seeing lower prices. I'm trying to buy some cheap altcoins. Now, the interesting thing about this Bitcoin price right now is the Bitcoin dominance is just absolutely booming right now. And usually when this happens, Bitcoins are absolutely dumping, and that's exactly what's happening right now. You know, a lot of these, And a lot of them are tied to ETH and the Ethereum ETF. So when ETH is dumping, and the reason it's dumping is the ETF, just a couple hours ago, where is it? Tree News tweeted Grayscale ETH daily flows negative 350 million. So if you look at these daily flows, day one was negative 500. Yesterday was negative 350. Today is negative 350. So if the Grayscale, the ETH fund, is literally dumping $250,000 to $500,000 of ETH every single day. Now, eventually they're going to run out of ETH. So if we go through my tweets here, looking for that croissant guy. Shout out to Jordan, he's got another cool YouTube channel. But if Grayscale continues to dump 300 to 500 million ETH per day, they would be out in 15 days. They would have went from 10 billion in ETH to 8 billion in holdings in 3 days. Or they have went. So they've shed $2 billion of ETH in 3 days. Keep in mind this Grayscale dumping of BTC slowed down when it got to around 50% of its holdings. So they still have another 3 billion to dump. They dumped 2 billion in 3 days. And he's saying once they get to 5 billion, the dumping will start to slow down because some of them want to hold it, and then there's going to be more buy pressure coming in. Yesterday, I thought this was kind of funny. The top gainers were all USD coins, dollar coins. Yeah, this is the one I was looking for here. So Ethereum is following the exact trajectory as Bitcoin after the ETF was approved. Down 8% after 2 days after approval, down 20% 2 weeks after approval, which would put us at a $2,700 Bitcoin, which is totally in the realm of possibility. And then up 90% 2 months after approval. So assuming the flows of Ethereum followed the same trajectory as Bitcoin, we might see something like this where we get this dump negative 20% after 2 or 3 weeks, takes us down to 2,700, and then boom, we're back. New all-time high, $6,500 Bitcoin after 2 months. That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. You missed the 54K dip. I bought a bit, it was just little DCAs, you know. I like to buy like $100 a week or something, whatever I can afford. And then this was interesting today too. Solana flips BNB, becoming the 4th largest crypto in the world by market value. So first, let's talk about ETH. Let's go take a look at the ETH chart. And I mean, look at that. That's pretty funny, right? So this is the chart. Let's zoom out to the daily. And this was kind of my prediction for ETH. And it's kind of, I'm just going to bump this back a little bit and look at that. I mean, that's crazy. So I wouldn't be surprised, you know, eventually we were thinking it might come test the top of the range, but it's really getting droopy here. And kind of what these other accounts are saying is the same thing that I saw on my own. So it's kind of vindicating to see other people tweet the same stuff that I was saying 2 days ago. But it's really just numbers. So if Grayscale is going to continue to have 300 to 500 million in outflows, then the price is going to continue to look like this. The other thing, though, that's a little scary is the thing with Bitcoin is the supply is so low, so that flow really matters more. Ethereum's a little weird, you know, with DEXs, so it's not like Bitcoin doesn't have DEXs and a bunch of ETH and wrapped ETH sitting on DEXs on a bunch of different chains. There's a lot more supply of ETH, which makes me wonder about the price action. And then also, Gwei Ethereum, the Gwei on Ethereum right now is 1.2. I actually just minted 50 VMUs on CoinTool for $30. That's insane. I got it in at 1.1 Gwei. That's so cheap. What's up, Dank? Hope everything's well. Yeah, we're chilling. Soul's the future. Imagine getting into a better soul early. Shout out to Zolana. True that, Rolando. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I bet it's going to do something like this where it comes back, kind of bounces up, and then eventually finds that negative 20%. everybody panics because it's under 3,000. Nobody wants to buy it. But, you know, if you've been looking at this range since April, like we have, where's the damn triangle? Where is the triangle? Here we go. Rectangle, I mean. So if you've been paying attention to this range, buying in this green zone has been a really good idea since February 2024. So we'll see what happens. But there's a lot of fun and a lot of ETH, which also indicates a really good time to buy. So if it does fall under 3,000, I'm definitely going to become a buyer of ETH. But the long-term outlook, if we pull up something like ultrasound money, when Gwei is low like this at 1.1, there is no ETH being burned, which is a problem for the supply of ETH. So if we zoom out here on this ETH supply chart, you know, there's the whole legend of Zen. When Zen launched, ETH became deflationary. But something happened here in early March and April. And this was the Denkun upgrade. And so at the end of March, or no, it's mid-March, the Denkun upgrade launched on ETH. And that was the big blob storage with the to make the layer 2s gas transactions cheaper. They could use blob storage. And as soon as that happened, Gwei got really low, and the ETH supply is basically moving parabolic. And that's because gas is coming down so low. So when we have low gas, we get excited because we get to mint Zen for cheap, but really that's bad for ETH. You know, over the last year, we're at negative 280,000 ETH. But if we zoom in, let's take a look at the 30-day. So it took 2 years almost to get rid of 250,000 ETH, but in the last 30 days, 60,000 new ETH have been created. Hey, shout out, welcome Thomas Wilson. So how crazy is that? That is so much ETH. 60,000 ETH just goes directly back into the pockets of the validators and the stakers. That's nuts. But then you look at this proof of work and it would have been 300,000. So technically the supply growth is slower, but it's not being burned. You know, if we zoom out, like look at ETH just going absolutely parabolic, and now it's starting to tick up, and it's going to start doing that again. Like the whole point of the merge was to get this downturn in the new supply, and now it's just creating more supply than ever. So that's kind of unfortunate to see about ETH. But I'm bullish on the ETF. You know, anytime you have these ETPs and these big funds coming to buy Ethereum, Robert Kennedy talking about the government's going to hold 4 million Bitcoin. He said the United States holds 20% of the world's gold supply, and they should also hold 20% of the world's ETH supply, or Bitcoin supply. I mean, that's insane. Shout out to... Wonder if I can find that real quick. Yeah, let's listen to this real quick. It's just about a minute long.
50. I will sign another executive order directing the U.S. Treasury to purchase 550 Bitcoin daily until the U.S. has built a reserve of at least 4 million Bitcoins. And a position of dominance that no other country will be able to usurp. Our nation holds approximately 19% of global gold reserves. This policy will give us about the same proportion of total Bitcoin. The cascading impact from these actions will eventually move Bitcoin to a valuation of hundreds of trillions of dollars.
Like what? I don't know about that last part, but man, that would be so cool. Bitcoin to a valuation of hundreds of trillions of dollars. Hmm. It sounds pretty awesome, though. Can we start with 10 trillion? Let's see Bitcoin with a $10 trillion market cap. That would be amazing. Bring the music back here. That's why you become a validator or delegator. X1 is your chance. Yeah, I feel that, Rolando. So yeah, let's dive into it. So I wanted to talk about the X1 Prime slot game. So this is pretty cool. This is one of the first programs on Solana. This is just a little thing. Now, so last week or the week before, Jack is encouraging the X1 Validator chat. I highly recommend if you're interested in testing Solana, if you want to know how to run a validator, if you want to learn about Solana and Solana testnet and figure out what X1 is going to be with us, come join the X1 chat. So last week we were basically just building these programs that all it really did was write a text string on the blockchain. So you'd deploy the program and then it would boom. It's pretty much it. And then you could read the text that it was deployed with. Very cool, very simple, and is essentially what we were testing. Now what we got going on is Jack developed this prime game. It's all about prime numbers. I wonder if I could find a clip of him. He came in one of the Twitter spaces and explained it really well. Specifically about the prime numbers. So I believe this like searches hashes for prime numbers, I think. Something similar. If it finds a prime number, then you essentially get points. So it's just kind of a fun thing we're testing. It doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but it's just like a little game. So I was going to run through the setup. I actually ran this setup earlier and it was successful. So let's run through the setup together. And see what this prime game can do. So first thing we need Rust and Cargo. So you want to make sure you install the latest version of Rust. Go ahead and run that now. We'll see what that looks like. It basically downloads the installer. Ask you 3 options. You want to proceed with the standard installation. So we're going to type 1 here. And then it's basically going to run through the Rust install, or the Cargo install rather. So we'll give this a few minutes to run. And so what Rust is, this is the Solana, the programming language. So when we're talking about ETH and we're writing smart contracts on ETH, we're actually using Solidity in the Solidity language. But with Solana uses Rust, and Rust is a little different. It's I think they call it Turing complete or something. But it's just kind of you're writing programs instead of a Solidity file. So we'll give this a second to finish installing here. Maybe I won't run through the rest of the installs. I'll just tell you about the commands. I forgot I downgraded my I went back to a cheap little VPS for stuff like this. Just kind of testing out the Solana CLI and stuff. It's a lot of fun. BTC, baby. BTC is the new gold. It's crazy. Crazy to think about. How did we get here? How is Wall Street buying BTC and ETH? Yeah. It was supposed to be our thing, not theirs. All right, so now Rust is finished. We can type in a cargo -- version. See, we're running 1.8. That's good. You'll want to do the same thing with the Solana CLI and Anchor. So Anchor is the big one. You need to make sure you're running version 0.29 of Anchor. What's on my Pi? So my Raspberry Pi is basically, it's not much. I think it only has like 8 very slow CPU cores, and I think it has 8 gigs of RAM. So that's pretty bad. This one I'm running, this is a Contabo private server. It's not a dedicated server. I think it's got 16 gigs of RAM and 8 CPU cores. So it's enough to run the Solana CLI, you know, run these little scripts and stuff, but I'm not running this one as a validator. This is just kind of my fun one. So Anchor is the big one. You want to make sure you're running 0.29 of Anchor. So once you have Cargo, once you have Solana, and once you have Anchor installed in your Ubuntu environment, you can create your Solana wallet. When you do, it's going to put your passphrase on the screen. We've done this earlier. It's the same type of thing. You definitely want to make sure you save your passphrase. So then you also have to set your Solana CLI environment to the Solana. So you basically put in the main RPC into the config for Solana. So yeah. And this is the same thing that we've done for the other Solana stuff. So all this is pretty standard up until the program. So the program is where it differs a little bit. So obviously first you need your Solana airdrop. So I'm going to type in Solana airdrop 100. It uses the Solana CLI to request 100 testnet Solana. How cool would it be if we could do that with real Solana? Tells you the transaction signature, tells you the amount of Solana. So I'm up to 197 testnet Solana. Now we have to get the Prime game from the GitHub. So what we do, let's do this from scratch. This might take a minute. I'm going to remove Prime game, and we're going to do it from scratch. Probably going to regret this because it takes a minute to build. But all right, so now if I type in dir, that folder's gone. So we're going to type in our git clone Prime game. This goes out to the GitHub, grabs a copy of the Prime game, and we can start playing it there. So downloaded, type in CD Prime game, and now we can build it. So the first thing we want to do is build the anchor. Actually, here, we'll see what it does. So we're typing in anchor build, and this might take a few minutes. It's got 169 little programs and pieces of code to download and install and compile. So that's what it's doing right now. It's compiling and building the program. What's up, Clay? Hey guys, does Steve's new node reader on the bulk minter actually earn XN allocation? Does anyone know? I tried it on my phone. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So check out this website. It's the show data. This is where you can see if God damn it. Shower cap, what the hell? No, show data. There we go. So Clay, go to this site, and when you start up the XN CPU verification on the website, it'll actually give you your public key, and then you can search that website for the public key to make sure you're verifying and earning points. So you can see like this set of blocks here. I'll just maximize this real quick. So this is the range of blocks, block 259-83201 to 300. It gives it a unique fingerprint, and it says there's 50 votes. That means there's 50 different wallets verifying that it's a legitimate block. So you'll want to make sure your pub key is listed here. Yeah, that's true. Good call, Rolando. Yeah, it's not really an XO1 allocation. We're more so just testing it. Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, so this is still compiling over here, still building the Prime game. So this is cool. This is really starting to get real for me, because what we're doing is essentially what we were doing on Ethereum with XenMaps and with Hash Token, where we're building a little project, building a little Solidity contract, and testing it out on the X1 testnet. So now that we've had to pivot to Solana and Zolana, now we're doing the same thing with a completely different programming language, completely different compiler, completely different network, you know, different virtual machine. Everything's different, and it's fun. It's a lot to learn. So it's kind of getting real. So this is the, you know, for a while there, I was wondering if we could even deploy dApps and stuff on Solana, and now that we can, stuff's starting to pop up. So this is pretty fun. Now I got to figure out how to make an interface. I think Jack actually built a leaderboard for the Prime game, which is pretty cool. But once this finishes, we'll give it a spin. But basically how the Prime game works is you pay 1 testnet Solana, you get 1,000 points, and then you spend those points playing the game. Essentially, if you spend your points, you make a spin, or you get a round in the game. If in that round you discover a prime number, then you get to take the pot, I believe, or you get some portion of coins. It's basically a game, and you have a chance to win the jackpot. So that's really all it does. It's not like some advanced DeFi or NFT or token or anything. It's literally just a program game that uses built-in points. Give me 1 second. All right, we're back. And this is still running here. Compiling and building. That's interesting. So it just restarted or something. Now it's doing 264. So that's good. It's doing its thing. We'll let it run. So yeah, it's kind of interesting how we're building from the ground up. And with Ethereum, everything's all packaged and pretty and ready to go, and there's a huge open source community. But with the Solana community, there's not as much out there, but there's still stuff out there. So, we found that Medium article that can create, I was using to create like that stupid Explorer that I made. And then they built the actual Explorer. Let's pull that up real quick. So it's explorer.solana.zen.network. So this is the official X1 testnet blockchain Explorer. And once we start playing the game, we can actually go and search the transactions and see the transactions and see that you can see the TPS on the network, and you can search your wallet and see your balances, and it's really starting to come together. And it's amazing because it's like, we built the universe, with the X1 fastnet and the devnet, and then we had to throw it all away, and now we're building it again with a completely different set of tools. And it's really awesome to see it come together. And I like it. I like it better. I feel like even though there technically might be less developers on Solana, I feel like that means there's more to learn and more for me to kind of get in there. There's more space for me to get in there and maybe learn and learn Rust and learn how Solana and Zolana and X1 are going to work. So it's got me really inspired. I have 2 phones I'm running it on. I'm starting on my laptop now. I figured once there's a private key, there will be Kool-Aid rewards. Yep. It's funny. All right, so this finished. So now what we need to do is run the skip deploy. So we're gonna type in anchor test -- skip - deploy. So if you don't add the skip deploy, it's actually going to deploy a fresh program on the testnet, which is fine if you want to test that, but then you're going to be playing your own game and it might not work because you don't have the right addresses and the variables, and it's just going to give you error messages. And even if you do figure it out, then you're going to be playing the game by yourself. So you don't want to deploy. You want to use the version that everyone else is using, and that's in the code from the GitHub, so you don't want to change that. So that's why we type in -- skip deploy. We're going to run anchor test skip deploy, and it should just start working. So, TS Mocha not found. So I'm going to type in anchor version. Okay, so we got the right one. I think I need to run the command to install this. So we're going to go back to ChatGPT. So it's telling me this TS Mocha module is missing. So we're going to have to run the command to build that module. So it's going to have us install Mocha and Web3. Do that with the npm command. I love gambling. I've made more than 5 minutes than it would have taken me 2 weeks to earn in real life. I know, right? Man, before crypto, I was so into daily fantasy sports and DraftKings. I used to make spreadsheets. I paid for services to get like all the stats and the special stats and stuff. And it was everything. I was playing the NBA every day, playing golf and baseball and MMA and of course football. I had the Iron Man every year in football, playing every single week in DraftKings. All right, so let's see if that did it. I had to install those packages manually. And there we go. So it found my account. So here's my user account. Let's go back up there. So here's some players. Getting some points. So now each one of these is a different role. So like, let's see if I can stop this. So we got transaction signature. And here, I'll do this. I'm going to take this over to the Explorer. See if we can see this transaction. So look at that. So we started that game in the server, in the Linux, and it's continuing to run. Every couple seconds, it's doing I don't know what to call it, a spin or a round. So right now there's 14 Solana in that staking treasury. And then there's 5 Solana in the regular treasury. So you can see I'm updated so there's 783 jackpot points. There's 200. I have 2,495 points. I actually started with 2,000. Now I have 2,495. It says updated user 1 points, 355. Total one. Oh my God, 606. Oh, that's everybody. So yeah, so then if I come over to the Solana Explorer, pop that transaction in there, I can actually see these transactions happening, and I can see the logs from the game. So it's working properly. So like if I zoom in here, slot user number plus player sum plus time number, 6605103 is not prime. So here's the algorithm or whatever. It's the slot number plus the user number plus player sum plus the time number. And if those added together equal a prime number, the jackpot pool increases by 10 points. So you can see the leaderboard, you can see the leader. It's cool. It's just like a fun, stupid little game that's actually running on X1. How cool is that? Shout out to Jack. Kept me busy on a Friday night trying to figure out how to run this shit. But now I'm actually trying to build my own. So I wonder now if I figured out that I realized I was running an old version of Anchor. So I was trying to work on this silly little like coin flip game. I don't even know how it would work though. Let's see. That'd be hilarious if this works. Yeah, we'll try that another day. But yeah, good time. So that's kind of what we've been focusing on is X1 and learning Rust and trying some new things, trying some different deployments on Solana, seeing if we can break and test the network, seeing what these TPS are doing. And right now we're not running a load test and we're still getting about 100 transactions per second. That's probably just people playing the game, to be honest. That's kind of cool. And the votes. Let's see how my miners are doing. So this is where the Raspberry Pi comes in handy. I like running it just for like little stupid Python scripts. So this is my Orange Pi. It's just, basically a Raspberry Pi. It's a newer version. It's got 8 gigs of memory. Got some CPU cores. It's running a Bitcoin core, so it's a Bitcoin node. Yeah, I'll fuck with that later. But let's take a look at the XenBlocks. So we got the XenBlocks assistant. Gonna run the Python Vastmon API v3. And this is what I use just to check out my miners. It's over on my GitHub. Feel free to test it. Nice little tool. What's up, Globetrotter? Welcome. So yeah, these were the cards that we bought in the last stream 2 days ago. See, these ones have been running for 49 hours. These ones I've had for a while, 168 hours. Of course, I don't want to let go of the 4090 that I'm paying 1 penny for. Currently getting 298,000 hashes per dollar. That's insane. Paying 1 cent an hour, and it's got me almost 100 XNM. So, doing the thing. We got 275 XNM, 392 unis, Zunis. Thoughts on X1? Will we see it this year? I don't know. I don't conform to time. Time is a construct. X1 already launched, just not yet. Nah, I think we'll see it soon. I bet it's gonna be. I don't honestly think we'll see it this year. We might. I mean, it depends how things go. I don't think about it as time, like we're gonna have it this year, next year. And we're gonna have it when all the bugs are worked out and there's a DEX and there's some other dApps built on it and they have the allocations figured out. You know, that's when X1's gonna go live. I don't know when that is, but that's kind of what my perspective is. 10/8/2024. We'll see it. You know, I don't know how far along they are with everything. You know, obviously we're testing the network and we're getting to the point where we can deploy apps on Solana and everything. We got plenty of validators doing the thing, but there's still a lot. I mean, we still have a long way to go. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2025 or 2026. I think 2026 is FUD though. But what I like to do, I use ZenPub and hashhead.io to check my mining stats. I actually run 2 different wallets. So one wallet is my cloud mining, my Vast AI mining, and the other one is my personal machine. So down in my basement, I have 4 3060s that I rent out on Vast. And when they're not being rented on Vast, I'm actually earning XNM and Zunis and SuperBlocks. The longer it takes, the longer you have to get your position. Yeah, unless you believe it's not coming. We'll see, we'll see. Just waiting on ZenPub to load here. It's going a little slow. And that was my problem too. When I was building the XenBlocks databases, I could not get it to be fast because there's so much data in XenBlocks. You know, we're up to like millions and millions of blocks. Which is fine for storage. You know, like the storage isn't big, but just querying like a specific wallet balance takes so long. I need to figure out how to do that, but I've kind of hit a tough spot here. I can't get above rank 111. I'm stuck at 111. I got 64 super blocks, creeping up on 45,000 regular blocks. And yeah, you can see getting some blocks. And then my cards in the basement, those aren't getting much because they're being rented, which is pretty awesome. But I have gotten 3 super blocks, about 2,300 regular blocks, just for the cards in the basement. That's pretty fun. You're on my heels, Craig Crypto. Uh-oh. See, I'm running out of funds for this. That's my problem. What did that say? I'm only spending 30 cents an hour, so I'm trying to be like as efficient as possible, getting 80,000 hashes per dollar. So I'm really trying to keep that above like 50, 60,000. So 80,000 is really good. I'm happy with that ratio, paying 30 cents and getting 24,000 hashes. That's pretty nice. But yeah, it's the long game. You know, you can see we've been doing it since this says October 18th, 2023. I mined 28 blocks on October 18th. That's awesome. Does that go back further? Let's see. Ah, it does. Oh, that's right. Yeah. 916. But this is when the ledger started. So it says I have 8,060 blocks mined on 916. But that's actually like the culmination of the days before. And we've just been going at it. And you can see when I built my tool, it just completely went parabolic. Just getting so many more blocks for cheap. Yep, I'm trying rank 111. I want to be in the top 100 so bad. At one point I was in the top 10, but that was way back in September, you know, before GPU mining and everything. So I kind of fell off, but it is what it is. So what else is going on? What do you guys want to talk about? As always, you can come over to Hashhead. Check your XNM mining stats. Rank 111. Gotta fix the Zunies and the supers though. Threw some of Aug's Hashheads up here. Shout out to Augmented. Aiden. See the hash token's not doing too hot. It's not dead. I haven't given up on it. But looks like a lot of people have. What I'd like to do is get this off Moonshot and then build it into the website somehow. Specifically with merch. I kind of have some plans, but I don't know. I don't want to. It's not getting off Moonshot, so I don't want to talk about it. Best investment so far in 2024? That's a good question. That is a really good one. Best investment. We were buying Solana. I bought 20 Solana at $10. So that's probably my best investment. It wasn't this year though, it was last year. We bought it was really everything we bought in early 2023, in 2022, and late 2023, honestly. October 2023 got really crazy. But, you know, Bitcoin, Solana, those were huge. There's not too much out playing Solana. What's that altcoin season? Let's check that out. So the altcoin season index is a good way to see. So we're in Bitcoin season right now. That means Bitcoin dominance is going up. That means Bitcoin's outpacing the altcoins. So what altcoin season is, if 75% of the top 50 coins perform better than Bitcoin over last season, it's altcoin season. So 75% have not outperformed Bitcoin. Bitcoin's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. So it's actually in the top 10 performer. So if you bought Bitcoin in the last 90 days, it's top 10 holding. Like you're up 5% compared to all this garbage. I see like Sui, I see Matic, all this stuff, Atom, Near, like all my favorite coins, ADA, BNB, like all this shit's fucked. If you just bought Bitcoin, you'd be up 5%. If you bought Sui, you're down 40%. So really it's these. If you bought Toncoin, I did have a nice trade on Toncoin, but I didn't really get in early. It was just kind of like the $8 to $10 run up. I took profits on that. Pepe, 60%. That outperformed Bitcoin. Caspa, up 51%. That outperformed Bitcoin. Solana, 27% outperformed Bitcoin. And this is the first one I hold on this list. So Solana. It actually, I only put a couple $100 into Solana, and it became my number 2 holding out of everything I own. The only thing, number 1 is Bitcoin. So how funny is that? Everything else is down here. Just completely took a shit. So my number 1 holding is Bitcoin. Number 2 is now Solana. Number 3 is Ethereum, and number 4 is Cardano. But I've had that Cardano forever. I've just had 10,000 ADA just staking, just chilling. Remember the tortoise and the hare? Think about, yeah, exactly. That's why we do it, for sure, for sure. But yeah, Globetrotter, that's a good question. But what's yours? What's your best move? Do you own any Caspa? Caspa was a crazy one going into last year. Another good way to see what's been pumping over time is a CoinMarketCap. They have a column. I think I gotta log in here. So you can actually come in here and go by filter. Wait, no, I want customize. Yeah, and then there's year to date, and then from all-time high and from all-time low. We can get rid of the other ones. All right, so you can use CoinMarketCap, and if you have an account, you can hit this customize button. Now that's amazing. We're at 63 on the fear and greed. I feel like we should be on this side. That's pretty wild. You keep it vanilla. Went into BTC 20K. Hey, that's the move. That's the move. That's a top 10 move right there. But if you look at the year to date, let's make sure we're looking at the top 100. Yeah, it looks like it. It's a PopCat. If you bought some PopCat a year ago, you'd be up 11,000%. Mantra's up 2,000. Dog with Hat 1,600%. Pepe up 800% on the year. And then you have the traditional altcoins, like the utility coins, like Arweave, which is a decentralized cloud service. Belated B-Day boy is here. Oh shit, what's up, Jack? I just covered the of course I ended it. We set up the Prime game, went through the setup for it, and it worked. Ah shit. You want to do the skip dash deploy so it doesn't deploy it. Just realized how small that is. That's what she said. Here we go. All right. So it's doing its thing. User pays 1 SOL to receive 1,000 points. And then we grab the transaction. And you can actually take the transaction over to the Solana Explorer. Pause. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Go into the transaction, you can see the logs. So I thought this was pretty cool. I didn't know how we were getting this number before, but it's nice and clear right in the log. It's the slot number plus the user number plus the player sum plus the time number is what determines the prime number. And if it is a prime number, then you get the points. If it's not, then the jackpot pool gets the points. So that's really cool. It's getting real out here. I saw Bonk past Optimism. That's pretty funny. I think Sami tweeted that earlier. Yeah, there it is. So Optimism with the $1.9 billion market cap fell to number 50 on CoinMarketCap. Where Bonk, a Solana meme coin with no utility other than being on the Solana phones, is up to 48 on CoinMarketCap with a $1.9 billion valuation. Up 113%. What is this? On the year. So if you bought Bonk a year ago, you'd be up 100%. That's pretty nice. So if you're looking for coins to buy, it's fun to come over to CoinMarketCap, and then you can sort by from all-time high and from all-time low. And sorting by from all-time high is where you can find the ones on a quote-unquote discount. Now you have to be careful because a lot of these are also dead projects. Like I would never buy BitTorrent or eCash. Those are very old projects. But then you see something like Notcoin. Notcoin is down 50% from its all-time high, and it's part of that ton ecosystem, which is kind of a crazy pump right now. Same with Caspa. That's weird. It says it's only down 8%, but fun stuff. Just got the web voter up on the laptop. Hell yeah. Let's go check that out. What is that? Bulk minter. That's what I was thinking of. So this will be the last thing for today. But shout out to Steve from Zenmon. Steve built this awesome utility. Saves you the time of running the cargo script. You can really just come over to bulkminter.com, start up the web voter. You decide how many cores on your PC you want to dedicate. Let's try 3. Last time we did 2 and it worked really well. Let's try 3. So we're gonna hit start voter. And you can see that's cool. It actually picked up in the cache from last time, from the last stream. We did 200 blocks. It started from 200, now we're into the 300s. And yeah, it's doing its thing. So now if I go over to the voting ledger, search for my wallet here, boom, there we are in the most recent slot. So these hashes that we just verified in the web voter, we can verify it's working if we see our public address on the show data site on this dashboard here. So that's awesome. Jack said everything in the Zen ecosystem look there also. Only one core works well on my laptop. Anything over and it doesn't run. How about your phone? That's really cool. You're running it on your phone too. I think that's going to be the big thing. Kind of got a bit of alpha to drop. I don't know if you guys remember Smith, but I've been talking to Smith, and he likes to build things, and he's been building like crazy lately. So he actually built this Android APK. It's basically an Android app for your phone that not only runs the CPU verifier, but it also mines XenBlocks at the same time. Now, mind you, it's mining very slowly. You might be only getting 5 to 10 hashes per second, but it's going to be on your phone app. And you can not only verify, you can stake and verify, you can also mine XenBlocks directly on your Android phone. So he got me really excited about that. He said we could start to talk about it. Hopefully we have a demo coming in the next few weeks. He's working with some other developers though, so he said I can't share the code. I can't, but he said I can demo it once we get it. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be a nice little app that you can mine XenBlocks on your cell phone while running the CPU verifier at the same time. And yeah, he's funny too. He dipped out of the XenBlocks chat a while ago, and then he likes to go. He kind of like goes off in his cave and like builds something, and then he comes back a few weeks later and he's like, guys, I called him Smith Santa. But that's gonna be fun. We're gonna see what happens there. So if you see Smith pop back up in the XenBlocks chat, make sure you welcome him back and ask him what he's got cooking. That's gonna be a good one. But on that note, I think we're gonna wrap it up. So thank you guys for coming. We covered a lot. We talked about the Ethereum ETF. We talked about the Prime game. We talked about XenBlocks and the CPU verifier. We checked out some stats. Talked about some charts. Talked about some Bitcoin dominance and altcoin season. So now I'm probably going to go relax, maybe hop on a Twitter space, maybe play some video games or do something fun. I hope you guys have a fun and safe Friday night. If you need me, hit me up on Twitter at Tree City West or on Telegram at Tree City Trading. And as always, I hope you guys stay zen. Peace.